JP's hero. What do they put on Dad?
They adjusted to the draft. They absolutely understood that, okay, Cho didn't work. So let's take Katotkacha. And here comes the adjustment also from the Team Liquid. So they're taking Granger and instantly Justin.
Yeah, the problem is here, I kind of want something like a Pharsa. You just got to be careful of the Arlet, but again, something with more damage. Selena, Pharsa, Valentina, something of that nature.
But that also exposes Sans, and that lets Liquid attack him all the more, despite all the bans that can still come going into the second phase. The CC is put onto Lutfi, so this again, you want to protect Sans. But maybe second to Kyrie, and maybe your team captain, Kiboy, Sans is the guy. He's Gila for a reason. So they're protecting him now. How do you go by the second phase? Onyx can crack down on more junglers. Again, take out the
Haya.
Take out the Haya. Take out the Akai. What are you going to do, Carl?
It's a good question. And also I'm thinking, and what about Kadita for the Onyx? So actually, if you want to protect, maybe the best protection is by yourself. So it's also an opportunity, and you got the combination with CC and Katotkacha and also Fredrin, and there are a lot of CC, and you can combine it.
Honestly, yeah, that is a lot of control. Fred, Gatot, CC, that's a very you don't get to move kind of draft.
You just need the kind of damage to follow through, to finish what you started. Loyi gets banned here by Liquid, so they know that that's one of the ways they can get blindsided. Again, very directionally oriented. Their lineup is currently. There's a lot of initiative, but if you don't know where your opponents are coming from, say goodbye to successful engagements. Onyx, do they take out more roamers?
Well, it looks like they're banning out the Akai. I mean, like, to be fair, they have a lot of ways to make sure that opponent doesn't get a move, and the Akai can kind of protect it. The only request that I have, I would say preference, is that pick up a mid laner with AoE damage, because I kind of feel like single target would just kind of wasted a little bit for Onyx.
They took out the two reliable AoE mid laners, the Pharsa and the Loyi. Do you Selena now? Because it's a little too spelled out.
Valentina is more spread out. I guess in a way you can make Kadita spread out as well. Selena is a good pick. It's just that I'm worried it's just 2-1 pick off-ish.
What if Kimmy?
Kimmy, no. Please. Okay, I'm okay with Arlott right now if Sanford playing Arlott, but I don't like the Kimmy.
You don't like JP? What if JP Arlott?
I'm okay also. And last pick. It's kind of smart. And I like it because there are several options.
Alpha? Welcome back!
Whoa.
Alpha in the jungle, first time in MSC 2025. The GOAT takes it into his own hands, and an old favorite too, the Hylos.
I don't care about your defenses, I got true damage.
Time to stampede, baby!
What a game! Wow, and the last pick, and it's Eve. I'm not sure about Eve. I like the composition from the both sides, actually. Especially my heart. Team Liquid took my heart.
I mean, like, I requested for AoE. Eve has a lot of AoE, but the thing is, once the Stampede starts coming through, Eve has no dashes to protect herself.
This is very Stampede coded for Liquid to dig that deep. I'm excited.
Well, thank you very much, Leo, as well as Destroyer. But now we got to throw it back to Brigitte and Mirko.
Stampedes, dives, the Spear of Alpha and a glorious pathway making its comeback in game number 2 of the semifinals between Team Liquid Philippines up against Onyx Indonesia. Could it be a potentially better scenario this time around for Onyx ID, or will the surprise picks literally take them by surprise again here in this series? Welcome to game number 2. I'm gonna ask you first, how did you feel about this entire Alpha Hylos?
Yeah, I mean, I see the angle for TLT. They really want to go for the Stampede. Hey, they don't even want to just go for Stampede. We saw Stampede in game 1. This is what we call a possible Stampede. They want to stop Onyx ID right here. They know after winning game 1 in that fashion, if they dominate game 2, they might have Onyx ID tilted. They might be able to get a game 3 where they could do something else. Maybe show up another crazy experimental pick. And it's great to see this kind of unorthodox, right? Yeah. I mean, it's weird to say unorthodox with the Alpha Hylos, which has been in the meta for so long. Yeah. But it is in this meta. We haven't seen Hylos in a while, especially not Roam. Alpha, Did we even see it in
No,
the
no,
group
no.
stage? No.
He was in the yet to be used heroes
So there you go.
collage.
One more hero to add to the list. It just goes to show how flexible this meta is, how open it is. Sanford on the Arlet, though, is what I'm scared about. Like, we see all these new picks, but I'm like, man, Sanford on Arlet.
Yeah, it's showing how flexible the meta is, but also how comfortable Team Liquid is in terms of the current meta, because they're just so confident in terms of bringing out all these picks, because they're just so familiar with how you're supposed to use these kinds of heroes in the first place. I mean, this is something not necessarily what we know of Daddy JP when it comes to the setups. It's not the jawheads, it's not all that, but in essence, it still suits the way JP does play at a roam role really, really well, and especially with how aggressive Sanji and Sanford have been. I think if any, Carl's the one who's a little more on the calmer side if you compare it to the Sansan duo right now for Team Liquid. They're literally making things happen, but Onyx ID, right now, they'll be the ones to first position themselves in the turtle.
Oh man, they won the bottom lane fight as well. Litpi forced back as Low has to pop in regen. Sanji gonna be caught by these Void Blasts, but Carl's been doing a good job there. RWM coming down over to Carl Tizian. Is gonna be taught over as well, and that will be the first kill over. Sanford first blood. Kyrie picks up the turtle, and it is a 2-kill start in the second minute of the game for Onyx ID.
Yep. That brief moment where Sanford just had his attention onto Lutpi and didn't necessarily land the stun was something Onyx ID did capitalize on. Ooh, Crimson Beacon kept him safe there for a bit.
Has the flicker too. Sanford joining in the fight. Lancer Flare almost getting the last reset for Sanford to jump in again. But see, this is the gamble you take when you go for a draft like this. Yes, you can snowball, you can stampede, you can get your power spake a bit early, but if you lose, another time for Keyboy. Kyrie goes in and the damage should be enough. Sans putting it down. Appraiser's Wrath, big bonk away. Not in the sweet spot, but it is still enough to take the horse down.
He got his level 4. He nearly had the Glorious Pathway and walked out of that wall, so he could have potentially walked away, but Onyx ID denied that from him. Carl TC still got his purple buff, but yes, I feel like in as much as Team Liquid has such a great comp in terms of its ability to dive, it can be heavily punished by Onyx ID too if they don't get to use it the right way. The real world manipulation, the AOG, and I feel like even our panelists have been very vocal about wanting a bit more AOE, and Onyx ID has so much of that. They could literally set the tempo for a team fight, set the box, and win that fight if all things go according to plan.
And this is the underrated game of Savero on the Moskov too. You would expect usually for the Moskovs to really just ignore first few turtles.
Yeah.
But Savero's always been that active gold laner. That's why he's been preferred over CW in this season. He's more aggressive from the start of the game. He's just more aggressive in general. And yeah, we saw him participate in the first neutral objective battle earlier with the SOD. And this is a signature pick. We've seen him play this since MDL, since Liga Nacional in Indonesia.
Yep. And it was such a perfect SOD too. Because Carl at that time was just right at the corner of the real world manipulation. So it was just so easy to land because again, there was a brief stun
Keyboy
before you actually get to walk out of it. But there's a charge. Keyboy doesn't go in with the Unbreakable. JP holding the turtle, but it's already a bit poked down.
Oh, Keyboy landed the taunt into Sanford there. Kyrie doing the taunt as well. Over to Sanji, just a bit of poke over, back and forth. Keyboy popping Revitalize now. That's the AOG used offensively. The RWM zones them in the backline as the Glorious Pathway gets popped up. Lutpi pops in Vengeance, gets away. SOD lands. Final size of Flicker combo there, but it's a 3-man taunt from Keyboy. Savero joins in. Spear Misery actually puts Shantizi away from the Appraiser's Wrath. And it's going to be Kyrie brought back again. Sanford jumping in, will fall to Sans in the push. Savero doing damage. Now lifted up and will be able to flicker out to safety. Sans with a cleanup again, finding the double. Oh, Heaven Carl on the turtle. Kai looking for an angle here. There is no retribution for both Carl and Kai. There will be. Oh, Heaven with a Death Sonata.
Oh my goodness. A great fight done by both teams, although Team Liquid were the ones who were able to stay a bit longer in the turtle. But nonetheless, Onyx ID, they still had their chances there. Savero went in at just the right time. Yes, did probably put Carl TZ in a much safer position, but either way, still posed a threat, so Team Liquid couldn't fully proceed with the fight. And I could say the same for Team Liquid too, the way JP just decided to make use of the Glorious Pathway to dive right into where Sans decided to put down that real-world manipulation made them really uncomfortable. But now once again in the mid lane, there seems to be another fight.
Uh-oh, Keyboy caught in the tough spot, has the AOG. Doesn't get it cancelled. It was so close. You could see the Lantern Flare almost pick him up. But the goal difference here, mainly it's up for Sans. 4-0 and 1 on the eve. And we've seen how it can carry games. It's just now, how do they deal with the clinch? JP pops in the conceal on the Hylos.
Yeah.
Kyrie right there to back Severo up in case anything crazy happens and he won't walk in the bush, you know? No Kumar moments, not here.
No. They for sure know that they're there, right? Like, they're not going to try and check.
Yeah, they know. Severo knows he's going to back away, but they still want to force it out. Sanji walks up.
What?
Keyboy with a taunt. But it's only to JP, and it will be a trade. Turret down below for a turret up top.
Okay, Lutfi's been working on the turrets for now. That's just all that he's been doing so far. But yeah, interesting how the idea that Team Liquid does want to do with this lineup is somehow answered back by Onyx ID for multiple times in a row now whenever they do try to engage in a team fight. Because I feel like even just the energy eruption, it gives that delay that buys enough time for Onyx ID to already set things up, especially when Team Liquid PH does decide to dive in. We haven't even seen a successful Spear of Alpha just yet coming in from Carl TZ2. Might have been an option for him to use it a bit more defensively for the past few minutes of the game, but now will they try to actually go for another engage?
Boy. With the taunt again, JP able to cancel it out. Now with the Lord's Pathway, Sanford with the final slash flicker in the back line, but Sounds pops in a real world ablation in time. Keep over the taunt. Kai with the win with the retreat battle, as that's the RWM already out. SOD landing, Severo piercing through. Carl TZ kiting back with Oheb, and it's a back and forth battle with the Vengeance popped in again over to Lutfi, and somehow the minions get the turret in the mid lane, and it becomes 2 for 1.
Team Liquid have managed the wave pretty well, or Onyx ID might have stayed a bit too long, trying to wait for the right opportunity, trying to set up for that fight, which happened in the Turtle just now. And so we see how Team Liquid are actually able to keep up in terms of the sustained team fights. Carl TZ, as long as you don't get to burst him down, the true damage is definitely there. It does threaten Onyx ID to a certain extent, but you could say the same.
Wow.
Lutfi, that Vengeance, it just does so much. But yeah, the gold lead between our gold laners, I did not actually know it was this significant.
It didn't look like it, right? I mean, now Oheb has 3 kills. He's been stacking up kills slowly but surely. But yeah, you wouldn't expect that big of a lead. I guess the Gold Crab has really just been given over to Oheb every time, just because Onyx ID have always kind of ignored the gold lane. They've wanted to play Severo at weak side, and Severo's been leaving lane a lot.
Yeah, that's true. So they might have not put that much attention into Oheb, and that might be the thing that'll bite them in the back as this game progresses. Because I don't even think you could say they've completely shut down Team Liquid just yet. It's just that it's been a bit uncomfortable for them whenever the team fights do break out, but it's not like they always lose out when you look at the bigger picture. It's somehow there are just a bit more advantages if you look at Onyx ID and the way they're able to keep themselves a bit more alive with a bit more HP after each fight happens. But I think you also have to look at the macro, because it's beyond how Oheb is surprisingly in the lead. They unknowingly let go of turrets, and I don't think that should be happening up against a team like Team Liquid.
Nope. The goalie is completely gone for Onyx. Now, final slash of the flicker combo over to Kyrie, and he's going to be bursted down with the Spear of Alpha. Oheb picks up the kill. The AOG defensively as Carl TZ gets chunked down, but is still able to survive. That's going to be Lutfi jumping with a vengeance, and it's still the retreat from Carl. Oheb gets a double. The SOD lands, but he cannot take it. Oheb, the Filipino sniper, with a triple.
And you wonder how many stacks he already has on this Granger, on the Sky Piercer, with a 6-0 standing. It's been a relatively quiet game for Team Liquid, but now that he's online, that definitely changes things up.
Sans, live cam view, gets a kill on Sanji. A bit too aggressive, but yeah. Oh, Sans got to be careful there. Kai holding in. Ooh, what? Ooh. Yeah, Sanji, I guess they just walked up a bit too aggressive.
That is the playstyle we've been seeing from Sanji. So I wouldn't be surprised if he might have done that. But you have to be a bit more careful now for Team Liquid. They finally regained the lead in this game. They're the ones with the Lord. Onyx ID will definitely have to work on that first. They get to reveal Team Liquid through the Magic Sentry. And they have the slows here and there. Oh, final slash once again to Keyboy.
But the RWM is right there, and a double taunt comes in from Keyboy and Kai. The SOD lands as well, and the Brazer's Wrath does enough to take him down. Kai with the Spear of Alpha, Ludpi spacing away perfectly. Sanford down, Lord down, Onyx ID defended without losing a Holy Shield.
Okay, okay. They still have all their holy shields
They
intact.
have, not a mid.
No. Just, I mean, they took down the mid.
Yeah.
So that's just one. But maybe not Keyboy if you're Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not go for Keyboy.
That's true.
There are so much other options. I mean, he was definitely the most accessible one, but he has the AOG. So they'll have to take note of that moving forward, because I don't think that was the first time they actually tried to go for a setup and Keyboy was the one on the receiving end. And they just got out. Oh, wait.
Spear of Alpha from Carl, the Glorious Pathway, cutting Kai in the back line. The Brazer's Wrath comes down as well. The AOG locks him down in the back. Double taunt over. That's a lot of piercing damage. Sans with the real world manipulation. Zones them, but Carl jumps in with the Spear of Alpha against Sans. Gets a double Ludpi. Zone in the back. That's Sanford walking up. Sans still kiting away now. Pops into Void Blast as he kites again. And he evades from a lot of those shots. But Oheb continues with the siege in the bottom lane. Pushing out the Death Sonata. And it will be a base turret for TL as they look to push in mid.
Now they might just try to look for another one, but Kairi will be here to try and defend and clear the minion waves. Everything changes when Kartese finds the right positioning. Yes, he did go down, but you saw how he just blocked everyone off and just applied the right amount of true damage, much to a point where Kairi, he just needed one last hit and he finally would have went down. So aside the fact that Severo was one of the first few ones to actually get taken down in that fight, Onyx ID definitely needed to play it a bit more carefully right after that happened, because Oheb was still alive. And Oheb right now is 701, level 15, probably already complete in terms of his items, or just lacking at most one. So this is where things can potentially change. Oh yeah, he has complete items, even the Wind of Nature.
Who has the better front to back? Conceal already. Ludpi cancelled. Keyboy still in the front, now going to be sunned up by JP as he goes into the back. Carl still wins out the retreat battle. The AOG defensively is nasty. The Spear of Alpha landing on two with the RWM doing some more damage. Sanji diving to the back. Severo getting the kill. Wind of Nature from Oheb still stunned up. Severo able to flicker around to safety as Carl still holds his ground. Oheb, that's another one landing. Looking for the chase. Severo gets away, and Onyx again trade out 2 for 1. It's worth it for TL.
Severo could have actually done much more, but the thing is, you'd feel too hesitant if the majority of your teammates are already running away. That's the purple buff. Still taken by Kairi. But there's a Lord. Ludpi's gonna make it in time. He still has 5 seconds on the death timers. But I feel like Team Liquid will be paying attention to the other lanes for now. At least respecting Onyx ID and their capabilities to defend. Because despite what's been happening so far in this game, Severo, you can already feel his damage. He is definitely a threat, especially with once there is a failed attempt from Team Liquid. Sanford could definitely get punished later on. Oh!
Spear of Alpha over to Kai. RWM locks Carl down. That's a winner crown to buy some time. AOG lands a double top from Keyboy. Kairi in the front, the final side dodge away from Severo, and Sans wreaking havoc throughout this fight. SOD from Severo doesn't get the Spear of Misery, but goes in again, gets shot down by Oheb with the Rhapsody, and Onyx are looking for the chase. Severo with a blade, piercing damage over to Oheb as Ludpi chases again. Oheb gets out, still somehow has his flicker intact. Sans hovering over, zoning Oheb for protecting this tier 2. 3 members down.
The Sonatas, they will try to clear the waves from a distance, but it will be enough. Onyx ID gain access to one base turret from the cavalry, and that's exactly what we talked about. Those small errors that could completely be turned around by Onyx ID given the nature of their lineup. A single real-world manipulation in response to a failed attempt could mean everything to Onyx ID.
The damage came through from Sans, that real-world manipulation, but in that skirmish, we gotta give props over to Keyboy.
Yep.
He was the one keeping everyone there. The AOG landed, the taunt came in as well. That is not Savero, Oheb is 9-0-1. He's still almost fully stacked up. Again, would love to see the stacks on Oheb right now, because despite all of this, despite the front line already getting dismantled, he stays alive without using Flicker. This man's positioning is immaculate.
Did he go for item change right there? Because I feel like he had the Wind of Nature earlier already, but he bought it again right now. So maybe there was a bit of buy and sell, especially in that last clash which happened. We'll get to confirm that later on, but this is looking to be a game that Onic ID might have gotten themselves back into. They actually have the lead already.
Does the lead even matter at this point is the question, right? Have all the carries gone to their power spakes? Sans and Oheb, eyes on them. It comes down to the front to back, and it's not the gold lane here. Savero is the added bonus because he has the SOD. He has ways to break the front line. The main damage source, though, in a lot of these team fights is Sans for Onic ID.
Yeah. I mean, Team Liquid do have decent range, but it's through Oheb. Sans, his kind of range is different. It just affects
a few bops.
Yeah, it affects so much more than poking heroes down, poking certain members down. Oh, but wait, JP too.
Chain CC there, Ludpi doing a lot of damage again. Sanford looking for the final slash, able to find Sans, but it's going to be quicker out, but they dive into the backline with Sanji, Crimson Beacon! It's Sans in the backline, targeted and taken out. Savero able to get the Winter Crown away, now kiting away. JP put down with Spear of Misery. They're kiting over to Oheb. Ludpi unable to get into frame. Oheb with the flinker gets the kill and gets out. Savero buys Wind of Nature, now onto Sanford he goes. Final slash landing. It's Savero kiting away again. Kyrie in the backline trying to go for something, but he cannot. Savero with a chase. Immortality down for Oheb. He pops in with a Nature and now gets Chain CC'd to the ground. Team Liquid have wiped Onic ID out.
Individual highlight plays just to make it out alive. Winter Crowns coming in from Carl. Even though it got too messy, it's a wipeout. Onic ID, they only have Sans to defend this.
Oh, they got a minute wave to come in again. That's going to be the RWM to zone them in the back. But it is enough for Onic ID to stay in this game. And TL, because of that move, I don't think they can blitz the Lord. No, they can't.
They can't. Oheb's not there too. That was a shutdown on Oheb, by the way. Whoever got the kill on Oheb. Savero. He definitely got a lot of bounty out of that. And now he's keeping up. I don't think keeping up even is the right term, because in that fight, he was the one who served as a massive threat. That last minute Wind of Nature, if it weren't for the knock-up on the Lantern Flare done by Sanji there, that could have been a turnaround or a way for Onic ID to keep themselves alive once more, or even convert into the Lord, because if Savero was there, then they could have been the ones to blitz the Lord. But Team Liquid Philippines, are they looking for a different route?
They need to. They need to break this front to back. They were able to access Sans, right? It was Sanji and JP getting an angle somehow through the jungles of Onic to get that flank to happen. That was what made Sanford's sacrifice worth it. And in the end, he didn't even need to sacrifice because they were able to get the shutdown. And Onic, instead of defending Sans, they were like, all right, Sans is a lost cause at that point, right? Everybody was piling on him.
Yeah.
We needed to go for something else. And that's why they just dove on Oheb.
But the call is different. Oh, Savero all alone. Keyboy might be able to help him though, but they're actually going to go for him.
Hey, the base is wide open. This could be the signature play. The base going to be targeted down here by Oheb. The mid-wave's going to be canceled out. Whoa! TOPH, a massive gamble. Sans with a chase down now as Ludpi pushes in mid lane. Sans buys immortality in time, pops in a Void Blast as well. JP going to be caught as well. Can they recall? Keyboy will not be able to cancel Oheb as he gets the recall in time. And it ends up just being Sanford left to sacrifice. He gets out with a vengeance. Darn you, Sanford!
That's the Arlet. That's Sanford on the Arlet for you, still alive. And we'll get to recall. Carl, TZ, and JP were taken out in that sequence though. So this means Onic ID will be a lot more encouraged to take this objective. But Sanji, he's walking up front.
Do they have enough damage is the question. Ludpi has the vengeance. Keyboy looking for the taunt. Sanford reads it out. Oheb shooting them down. Ludpi joining in the fight again. Real world manipulation with a taunt down. Sanford with a vengeance now, but it's going to be the vengeance over from Ludpi. Final slash, and they go for the and now they must back. They will back 20 minutes in. A turnaround for Onic ID.
Yeah. Luckily enough, even without anything to use the vengeance on, Sanji was there helping Sanford, making sure he still got to survive the vengeance, the potential turn that could have been done by Onic ID, but nonetheless, I feel like there wasn't any much threat. Kairi still had the retribution during that moment, so it was almost sure, it was almost guaranteed that they definitely would be the ones getting the objective. And now that's what Team Liquid is trying to work on. But Keyboy, he's also looking for an angle himself. Conceal gets spotted out by Sanford though, and Team Liquid use the conceal for themselves as well. Wait, Sanji!
This could be the angle, but he's forced to recall. Evolve Lord, they're playing with a damage reduction now as Sans continues to just push it forward. RWM locking Karl'TZ down, forcing the Spear of Alpha defensively. Lord gonna be dealt with. Karl'TZ very low. Severo kiting away with a piercing damage, doing a whole lot to TL, but again, TL have a lot of shred. Karl and Oheb, if they continue to push, will be able to clear out these Lords pretty easily.
Yeah, but will they be confident enough to look for a fight? They still have to deal with the incoming waves. You would have thought that maybe because they know that there's no real world manipulation anymore for Onic ID, but there's a lot of housekeeping you need to do. You can't allow Onic ID an opening as well, because I feel like they'll be capable enough to go for a split push or a different way to end things, especially through Severo, similar to how Team Liquid attempted to do that earlier. I mean, that play was definitely a highlight, right? The way they took that gamble down bottom and tried to end it there. So now Team Liquid, they have to stay composed. I know it does feel like they were the ones in the better position for majority of the game, but things are completely different right now. And that's maybe why you also sense a bit of desperation in terms of the calls.
They know they've been outscaled. This is a problem now for Liquid. The big one. Damage from Karl, just the use of that hero in general. At this point, Team Liquid are really just playing for Oheb. If Oheb gets the kills, if he's still able to get those Sky Piercer stacks up, he'll win them the game. But Onic ID have a lot more. They have a CC, a Moskov, a Yi, so much more damage to play with now that we're in the late game.
That's so much sustained damage. That'll be very favorable for them if ever the team fight does get a bit extended. Not to mention Severo. Now Sanford might just try to look for an angle though.
Hold up, they gotta be careful. JP with the flank. He finds Sans in the back now, able to find the stun, but it's into the zone now from Ludpi. Pops in the curtain call, the AOG locking him down as well. Severo doing so much to peel for Sans. Keyboy still surviving. That's a Spear of Alpha, but Keyboy's too darn tanky. Severo with the SOD falling in again onto Karl'TZ, but it's a kill over as Oheb got the kill on Sans. It's a 1-for-0, and Onic ID have lost one of their main damage dealers.
It happened again. The SOD landing on Karl'TZ, but him holding on that Winter Crown and even having the immortality still. Onic ID could not proceed with this fight, not with Sans, or not without Sans. And that results in a Lord that'll finally go into the hands of Team Liquid. They still have ways to defend this though. They still have Severo. It might... Yeah, Sans will definitely make it. The Lord is going to spawn a bit later in this game. And all their resources are going to be up by then. So they definitely will have a way to deal with this. But how does Team Liquid try and approach this? Because so far the team fights that they've been winning out on are the team fights wherein they come in from the most unexpected angles across the map, where they get to use the glorious pathway to really block away members.
Wait,
where's
that's not right.
Yeah. Oh, he sold it.
He sold it and bought... Okay.
What's he gonna buy?
So he's selling again. He knows he's not gonna get any value out of that. So he buys the Wind of Nature. There he goes. 0 stacks on Sky Piercer.
Okay.
Kai with a taunt in the front right now as Keyboy gets caught with the final slash and will just be disintegrated. Has immortality though. The AOG was cancelled out. Now Sans is able to go for the clear onto it. AOG getting him out. Kyrie's still looking for the taunt. Oheb still there. Appraiser's rat dodged away from us. Oheb jumps in again. Immortality buys across the board. Severo with the Rose Gold Meteor. The Lord already into the Crystal. The SOD landing to the back line. Severo goes in again with the SOD and finds his Spear Victory from Severo. The Lord is still on the base. They've defended again. Karl not able to end. Sanji, one more hit. Throw back again. Liquid Philippines lose all their members, but Onic ID lose their crystal.